manufacturing practice. Good manufacturing practice only the nominal, in detail they will go for that. But when we are going for the CGMP indicates it is very, very in detail the structure like CGMP. It stands for the few more steps and ensure that comply with the latest regulations. That is the advantage of this CGMP following. So this is one of the important factors. What is the difference between GMP and CGMP? The GMP says with the GMP you are following the required standards applicable to your industry. So it adjusted to only for that industry. But where we are going for the CGMP, the CGMP go with a few more steps with ensure that company with the latest regulations. That is advantage of the CGMP we are following. The next one is that the cost. GMP, when we are making the cost of the GMP is less costly to implement and maintain. But where it is you are maintaining the CGMP requires more investment in additional testing and state of the art technologies. Latest technologies to improve all the things will be involved in the current good manufacturing practices. That is one more the combination of the GMP and CGMP. And the standards, the GMP says standards is the minimum standard applicable to your industry. Some of the industry have the follow minimum GMP and all, but where it is when you are into the CGMP, current good manufacturing practices, with the CGMP you are the compliant with the most current rules and regulations applicable to your industry. So that is the advantage if you are following the CGMP. The CGMP is important as a consumers have no mean to find out the drug being consumed in safe and effective testing alone is not adequate. Ensure the quality. So GMP also will follow the systems, but where when we are into the current good manufacturing practice, we will go in detail the quality of the product what we are manufacturing to the pharmaceutical industries. The practices required by the CGMP regulations to ensure that quality is built into the design and manufacturing the process every step. When we are doing the manufacturing of the any product, like if we are taking the injectable product, so if you are taking the liquid injectables, so how we have to take up the starting from the end of the finished product, starting from the raw materials, dispensing of the materials, all the things will be validated and checked at every stages. When we are issuing the materials to the production, the person has to be identify the each and every component when we are issuing to the production for the manufacturing. This all has to be included into the systems. So this is all CGMP latest as per the schedule M, as per the guidelines we follow all the systems. Likewise, when we are dispensing the materials and all, the persons like in the quality the control will be there, and the source person is all the pharmacists will be there dispensing the material, and as per the formulation the drug will be dispensed to the production manufacturing area. As per that, before once again they will taking up the production, they will be verified all the materials, because it contains lot of 3 4 or 5 6 ingredients will be there. Each and every ingredient as per the batch size it will be taken up and it will be accounted, then afterwards will go for the manufacturing the product. So this is where we will do the each and every step of the facility of the all the materials will be tested, and before we are going for the material for the processing activity. And parallelly, when we are taking the material in the stores, they will be the first in, first out. The FIFO system will follow this. As per the raw materials, all the things will be verified, checked, and verified the things. Then we will go for the FIFO system. Will follow that. Then afterwards, then it will go to the manufacturing area. It will be all the here also the trained employees will be there in the main stores. In the main stores divisions, all the materials, the processed, and it will be kept in a approved stock, quarantine area, under quarantine. All the materials is approved, and it will be there the rejected material. All these things will be validated and verified. This is all. It comes under as per the schedule. We will follow this system. Then afterwards, when if the material is entering to the manufacturing area, then we will be concerned there. The pharmacist role, main role will be there. The pharmacist. The pharmacist will be taking the processing. Everything will be verified and checked the each and every tag of the material, whether there will be it is been issued the material as per the quantity what we have intended. Accordingly, it will go for the material for the processing. So like this will be checked every corner of the steps into the manufacturing area, good manufacturing practices. And the CGMP systems include series of the controls, the quality focused operations, including the management systems. Here, the main important the quality management systems. We follow the main the current good manufacturing practices is in a set of regulations initially put forth by the FDA to ensure the business and manufacturing and packages of the pharmaceutical products will be taken care. Until this quality management systems and all, if it is not in order, it will be very difficult to process the systems. So here I wanted to convince to all of you what is I'm going to future going to explain all these things to you. What is the CGMP and why this difference between GMP and CGMP and why CGMP compliance is important. What are the CGMP requirements? How to remain CGMP compliant? How does the EQMS help the EQMS compliance, CGMP compliances? Because all these things will be detected in the management systems and your materials when they're issuing the materials, quality of the raw materials, operating procedures. That is called we'll call it in a SOPs. All the SOPs and all these things will be taken care. And any deviations during your processing, all so that is detecting the deviations. Investigation. Suppose if any major compliances in the system, so we will be investigation how it has happened, why it has happened, all the things will be taken the investigation deviation. And the testings, reliable testings will be carried out in our systems. So the main this type of the products must be comply with the CGMP when we are manufacturing the medicine, pharmaceutical manufacturing products. The pharmaceutical products and medical, this also applicable to the products must be comply with the CGMP includes the pharmaceutical products as well as the medical devices and biotechnology products and food and beverages and dietary supplement. It's all it will be comply with the CGMP includes because the goal of the CGMP is to increase the product quality. So why we are celebrating today the current good manufacturing practices? We don't want to get into the our substandard drugs and all. We wanted to have a good quality of the products. To give the good quality of the products, the goal achieve we developing the systems. Whatever the systems in the industry, we will be proactively guarantee the proper product design according to the control of the manufacturing process and facilities. So CGMP says that your systems, how the facilities and all we are designing and controlling the manufacturing process and facilities. All the things will be included in this current good manufacturing practices. Why current GMP? So this GMP, the quality, when the quality you follow GMP or CGMP standards, you are following the regulatory guidelines to ensure the products are safe, pure, and with GMP, you are following the required standards applicable to your industry or industries with CGMP. You are one or steps to head, ensure that you are tuned with the latest rules and regulations. The current good manufacturing, we should follow the latest rules and regulations as per the Schedule M, as per the guidelines for the Schedule M. We have to follow the systems in our industry. That is one. So the C stands for the current. Why this C has been implemented here, the current. Remind the manufacturers that they must employ technology and systems which are up to date to comply with the regulations, systems and equipment used to prevent contamination. Because here in the manufacturing, there is a lot of machineries will be there. So we have to update the machines. It cannot be reused 20 years or 30 years back old machineries and all. We cannot use. And moreover, we also should upgrade our systems as per the guidelines, as per the Schedule M and latest the regulations, because we cannot be used for the 40 years old machineries and all. We have to update the things. And moreover, we should be validate that equipment and we can see that in detail of that equipment how it has been the output of that mission. Suppose if you're not giving the output of the mission, it can't be used for even if you're not meeting the requirement of the GMP, it cannot be used in the in our industry. So what we'll do, we will be upgrading the systems and the premises, all the things, because we have to take care of the during your processing. The premises also is one of the important factor. So that is what we have taken for all this upgradation in the systems in our organizations. The systems and equipment used to prevent contamination. See, if you are using the old age machines and all, what will happen when we are, one example I'll give you, when we are doing a blistering of the tablets, the sometimes there is a chances of the missing of the boards and all, it is flowing to the foil, it will be packed like that. So this type of things will happen if you're taking into the injectables areas and all. When we are bringing the main lines and all, there is a chances of falling of the components, the mission components and all. That's the way we upgraded all these machineries. And this is one concept, we have replacing the new latest equipments. That is one part. And mix-ups, this is one more important in the manufacturing area, such a big huge areas. There is a chances of the mix-ups, because you have the lakhs of the tablets when we are manufacturing and all. We should have the identity purpose. So we create a lot of identities in the our manufacturing areas. This we are maintaining. There is chances, because these people are working in the 24/7. All the three shifts they will be working. So all these three shifts, what will happen, that the person to person, if any changes happens, if the person is not communicated to the other person, there is a chance of the mix up of the product. So this way, what we have done as per our practices in the manufacturing areas. So what we'll do, the batch segregations will do. When we are doing on the batch segregation, the batch wise will be identity will be created, and it will be put it in the current status labels on the products. Sometimes what will happen, if you are manufacturing, say, taken one example of the gentamicin injection. When we are manufacturing, that is a 2 ml tubular vial we manufacture. Maybe we manufacture maybe 10 batches or 15 batches. Sometimes what will happen, one batch to other batches, there is a chances of the mixing of. So if you are mix up that batch, what will happen, the first batch will have some trouble. So that first batch you have the sterility problem or any other things. So the errors can be happen there. So other batch also will be get contaminated. If the batch is good, the sterility is okay, but it is mixed up with this batch, so it leads lot of problem to the product. So it cannot be delivered such type of products and all to the market. So the mixers and all we should be very carefully handled in the manufacturing areas. That is one part. And errors in the sense, when we are manufacturing any batches in the processing lines and all. So what will happen, the chances of the parameters like pH or SA and or the value, all the things has to be taken care during your processing areas. This, if you are not maintained properly when doing the batch processing and all, the errors, there is a chances that. So it leads to the lot of unsubstandard drugs on your the product. So that type of products, it cannot be delivered to the market. So there we have to take care of the errors and all. So this is the first data. 20 years ago we less than adopted the current standards. So this is all we are following the as per the latest guidelines, as per the schedule M, schedule C, all the things will be followed during the manufacturing all these products. And the quality management is in under checklist. It is in a moving target, and organization must continually adopt their practices to integrate emerging the knowledge, real-time data, and other sources of insights. This is also the quality management is the. See, during our processing, all the things will be verified by our quality assurance. Previously, it was there than quality control. Then now, quality assurance department has been implemented. All the things has been controlled by quality assurance department. When the batch has been starting from dispensing to till of the final product, the quality assurance will be monitored, and if any deviations in if anything is there, immediately they will intimate to concerns, and the production department has to be taken up the all the initiation during the any deviations, discrepancy, any kappa, all the things has to be corrective and preventive actions has to be taken care by the production manufacturing pharmacist. This is the things in the quality checking in the during our the processing systems. The current good manufacturing practices, CGMP regulations. See, without the regulations, it cannot be further process the manufacturing all the things. The FDA ensures the quality of the drug products by carefully monitoring the drug manufacturers' compliance with the current good manufacturing practices regulations. The CGMP regulations for the drugs contain minimum requirement for the methods, facilities, and controls used by manufacturing, processing, and packing of a drug product. The regulations make sure that product safe for use and it has the ingredient, the strength it claims to have. So this important, that very important, the practices says that the CGMP says that regulations for the drugs contain minimum requirements for the methods. What are the methods we have? The processing steps. It cannot be deviated. As per the, we follow the industry standard manufacturing SMP. We will call it the standard manufacturing process. That will follow. Then accordingly, the in the SMPs, so we have all the methods how to do the processing activity, all the things will be there, as accordingly we'll follow the methods. Then parallelly we see the current good manufacturing practices, the facilities. When we are having the tablets area and other areas and all, the facilities be maintained very carefully. Compared to that, injectables area is very, very important, the facility. So when we are maintaining the HEPA filters, the air control contaminations and air controls, temperatures, humidity, all the things will be monitored. The facility has to be, because once if you are maintaining the pharmaceutical industry, in the, especially in the injectables area, is very, very expensive. And to maintain that is very toughest time for the all the pharma industry people. The maximum consuming, the what we are getting, the energy consuming there more in the energy controls in the HEPA HVAC
ஆமா.
systems. So there the facilities such a way we maintain that everywhere in the injectables area, the persons, the contamination controls, cross contaminations, and the minimum the cleaning activities in the floors, all the things will be taken care by the control, the manufacturing, the pharmacist has to be monitored all the things. So we, as
அப்ப
per the
அவரும்
current
மியூட்
good
ஆகுமே.
manufacturing practices, the facilities shall be designed this way, and
மியூட்
it
ஆஃப் பண்ணா
controls.
எல்லாருமே மியூட்
Main
ஆயிடுமே.
important the parameters like
பண்றாங்க.
that
இங்க பண்ணலாம் மியூட்
contamination
ஆகலாம். அப்ப
control,
அவர்ட்டையும் பேசுறேன்.
airborne
இங்க
particulate matters, all the things will be controlled in the injectables area. So the same way, even the tablet manufacturing area also will be taken care. So the regulations make sure that product is safe for the use, and that has to be ingredients and strength it claims to the have. So this is the current good manufacturing practices. If the regulations, if you follow, your systems will be very clear, and the product, the quality of the product is good. So that is one thing. And this manufacturers compliance with the CGMPs, Food Drug Administration's assessors and investigation determine whether the firm has the necessary facilities, equipment, and ability to manufacture a drug intended to market. So when the product, if anybody wanted to, we wanted to manufacture any one new product to the market, so the license has to be obtained from the concerned the local drugs control department. So before that, they will come and they will inspect our plant. They will see that all the facilities as per the requirement, as per the schedule M, as per the CGMP. Based on that, they issue the certificate to the to manufacture the product to the industries. So this is a regular process. So now current GMP manufacturing process what the firm necessary the facilities, like not in a basic facility, necessary facilities, whether they are dealing the legal compliance also, they should meet the requirement. All the things has to be, they will be coming and they'll audit the organizations, and they will certify, then only will go for the manufacturing the product. After some lead time, they will issue the certificate to manufacturing this so and so product. Then afterwards, we will be taking care of the product of the equipment to the manufacturing that product. So this is the way we follow the CGMP guidelines and Schedule M. All the things will be followed by all the pharmaceutical industry. The minimum in India, the manufacturing, good manufacturing practices, the CGMP company, more than around 15 to 20,000 companies are there in the states wise. But some of the people only they're obtaining the certification. Some of the companies are not getting. So what I wanted to convey is that all the people they should get minimum the GMP certification as per the current good manufacturing practice has to be monitored and facilitate that audit, and we should get the good obtain the certificate, then the things then will go for the right quality of the product. So this is where we proceed for the GMP regulations, current good manufacturing regulations. So to proceed this current good manufacturing location procedures, so this is one of the important factors, the code regulations, USFDA, most of the people having these thoughts, USFDA and all the will follow the as per the country wise. So the codification of the general and permanent rules of the federal government that related to CGMP in the pharmaceutical and biotechnology companies. So now most of the things will be is coming up in India. Most of the companies has been certified by USFDA approval companies and all, and most of the Indian companies is all CGMP, WHO GMP certifications and all. But now parallelly, some of the companies are getting the approval from the different countries and all. The highest list USFDA approved companies also we have in our India. So this 21 CFR 210 part is there. The current good manufacturing practices is manufacturing, the processing, packing, or holding of the drugs. General part in general, this governs CGMP for the manufacturing, processing, packaging. All the things will be related to the CFR part 210. This is very important. We follow the regulations, but as a batch, lot, all the things will be followed as per the US FDA guidelines to the current good manufacturing practices. The 21 CFR part 211, the current good manufacturing practices for the finished pharmaceuticals. What are the finished product? How after completion of your processings and all, how the product quality, whether within the specifications or not, that will be verified. Checked everything. For example, liquid medications leaching through the plastic containers would be covered by part 210. So this after completion of your product manufacturing also, the finished product also will be tested, and likely would be covered all this is CFR 21 CFR like that. 21 CFR part 600, this is the biological products. This is related to biological products and contains key definitions, establishment standards, establishment inspection requirement. All the things will be experience report. Here, I wanted to tell you all these biological products also when we are manufacturing, the inspection criteria will be monitored very clearly. Each and every stage of that inspection, manufacturing, the inspection will be taken up. So like electron now, the trend has been changed. All these documentation, all these the documentation verifications and all, when we are manufacturing the manufacturing pharmaceutical industry, all the electronic medias, electronic signatures, all the things will be the records, everything will be managed by electronic signatures, and define the criteria under which the electronic records, electronic signatures are considered by the trustworthy, reliable, and equivalent to paper records. Even for the batch manufacturing records, also we are maintaining the electronic media only. So like that, we are in the present in the pharmaceutical industry, the company in the machineries also robotic systems has come, and this electronic operations machines has come. So like that, we are in the industry also we are maintaining the to minimize our risk contaminations and all. We are into that some of the electronic mediums and as well as the robotic systems. We are all implementing the presence in the pharmaceutical industries. Most of the companies now they are handling with the robotic systems and all, like in injectable. Okay, I am audible. So hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible.
Yes, it's okay. I can go ahead now.
You can go ahead, sir.
Yeah. This current good manufacturing practices with the high level details. When manufacturing facilities are must maintain the clean and hygienic manufacturing areas,
Keep some sound there.
especially
Yes,
in the
yes,
manufacturing,
I
the
think
pharmaceutical
it's
industry,
completed. I
how we
watched
are
the
maintaining.
participant
We
who
tell
started
that our
doing.
people how we are maintaining in our house. So same way you should
Yes, you are
maintain your
saying,
working areas in
they
the
are being
manufacturing
saying,
area should
no,
maintain
no, no, no,
such a
no, no,
clean.
no. They are
So
doing some.
this is very
I
very
told him
important.
to
The
join me.
current good
Actually,
manufacturing
he is in
facilities
class
to
room. I
maintain
told him to
clean
join
and
to this
hygienic
Here
number.
they are raising
manufacturing area.
hand always.
If they are seeing that injectables areas and all,
Neutral is the
the
party.
space wise the segregation
Let him
and
speak.
the room wise the entries
Let
and
us.
all we made it to avoid the cross contaminations. We made it a lot of interlocking systems, so the persons cannot enter to the authorized person only can enter to the manufacturing area. Such a way hygienic and controlling the people and all, we are maintaining these systems,
Inside.
interlocking systems. Persons cannot enter to the unknown persons cannot enter to the other areas. So like that we maintain that hygienic, cleanliness and safety efficacy, all the things will be maintained. That is one part. Then coming to this, manufacturing facilities must maintain controlled environmental conditions in order to prevent cross contamination from adulterants and allergens, and that may render to the product unsafe for human consumption for our use. Because if you are not maintaining the what are the air in the, especially in the sterile areas, in the injectables area, when we are maintain this the different sizes of the filters the passing through the air, and it should maintain 0.3 micron. So like that we maintain different sizes, 20 micron, 15 micron, 10 micron. The air will be passing through the different microns, and it reduce all the contamination. Then it is the pure way will goes to
Screen
the
share
actual
Maradi sir.
manufacturing areas. So like that
Screen
we'll
share
be controlling
Maradi.
the HEPA filter systems and all. It is there in the
If they are
manufacturing areas. So
not
this is
sharing
all
anything,
high
that
level
time only,
this
no,
thing
it
in
will
the current
change.
good manufacturing practices.
Varadu.
Then
They
manufacturing
are sharing the
processes must be
screen, no,
clearly
that time it
defined.
won't change.
All critical
Oh
processes
God.
are validated to
Ah,
ensure
இது screenshot
consistency
எடுங்க madam.
and compliance with the specifications. And normally in the areas where we are
Play
manufacturing the
பண்ணிட்டேன்.
dry powder injectables areas, where normally we should
அது
maintain the
எடுத்திருக்காரு.
humidity as well as the temperature. If you not maintain the proper humidity and all, it is high risk to the product
Pin
contamination,
பண்ணது எடுங்க.
and
Pin
it is
பண்ணது
a
எடுத்துருங்க.
non-fillable of that area. Because if the
Scans.
moisture, if it is more humidity, it is more, it absorbs the moisture of the product. So it is very difficult. That is, we should maintain
எடுத்துக்கொள்ளலாம்.
always in the dry powder parental injectables area the humidity as well as the temperature. This will be continuously monitoring by
எடுத்துட்டோம்.
through. We have the
எந்த
controlling
எந்த
systems like
இருக்குது?
Let it
BMS
share
system,
only.
building management system,
We'll
HVAC
take one more
systems and
phone.
all will be controlled by
Yeah.
HVAC. All this HVAC systems and all building management system will be controlled. If one area having the more pressure, one area having the temperature, all the
Yes,
things
sir.
will be controlled through the building
அவங்க
management system,
கடைசியில் இந்த
temperature
மெயில்ஸ்
as well
பண்ணுங்க.
as the humidity. So manufacturing process must be controlled. Any changes to the process
உங்களது என்ன
must
சொல்லுங்க
be
கவர்மெண்ட்
evaluated. Suppose
ஃபீஸ்
during your
ஃபீஸா
manufacturing, if anything happen, suppose the temperature if it is more,
எங்க
how it
இது
will be controlled?
ஃபோட்டோ
How the changes your process, your product will affect to the, if the temperature is more, the product will get affected. So we should be very carefully, we should be monitored every minute of the areas. So like this will be monitored in the manufacturing area. Changes that affect the quality of the drug are
Noted.
validated as
சரி
necessary.
எடுத்து
If any
அமுச்சிட்டேன்.
changes happen, suppose during your processing of the product, there is a humidity, it is more. How you will be identify the product is a good quality of the product. So it will be tested once again. In the area will be
I
tested.
think it's going
Monitor
to
other things also will be tested. Then only the things will go on. We have the
Inside it.
automation controls. Every
Inside it.
area, if you have the temperature, certain areas, if it is more, automatically it will control, it will cut off. So that way we
ஸ்லைடு
made
உங்களுக்கு
it the
அமுச்சிருக்காங்க.
systems in the manufacturing areas. This is where we will be controlling. So this is one method. And the instructions and the procedures must be written in the clear and ambiguous language. So here, current good manufacturing
மோஸ்டா
practices, what it says that uh, we should follow the SOPs, standard operating procedures. In the as per the procedure, we should be process the your systems. So here the important thing I want to tell you that good manufacturing practice in the SOPs. SOPs also the local language also will be displayed. We are writing in English. Some of the employees will be knowing the English. So that way, we are the local language also we provide for them. Too easy to understand that, and you should not any misuse the things and all. So if you're using the missing of the steps and all, so during your processing, it will affect to the your
Question
product.
skills session
So
kada.
that's why we
Answer
are
questions.
providing into the even the SOP is also in the local language. So that is one latest. These things also implemented.
What is the
This is
nature
all
of
inspected by
GMP
our
and
local
CGMP
drugs authority, drug control department, drug inspectors and all. When they visited, they given some of the suggestions. We also have taken, and we train the people there. There is one more important. This
Madam,
operator
ஏதாவது
must be
questions
trained
இருக்காங்க?
to carry out the any document procedures and the training of the equipment, the running and operation of that equipment. All the things will be trained. The operator should, without the trained person, it cannot be put into the concerned areas. This
CGMP
is we are the current good manufacturing practices, the high level details. And records must be made manually or electronically during the manufacture that demonstrate that all the steps required the defined
Mobile கொடுங்க.
procedures and instructions were in effect taken that quantity and quality of the food of the drug was the expected. So this is very very important. We
Fast
are proceeding, all these things will be documented very clearly. So all this documentation, when we are batch manufacturing the records and all, it will be properly documented. And nowadays
Switch off.
we got it all the electronic media only. All the things will be transferring and we are putting it to the folders, and it is to be validated. That equipment also calibrated and validated. Then afterwards we will be following these systems. So this is where we are controlling the documentation process. And any distribution, then after completion of the your product manufacturing and all, retail the trace, this is the distribution of the product must minimize any risk to the other quality. Suppose you
No,
must be heard
last
that's
month is
oxytocin
answer.
injection. So
Question.
oxytocin injection we should be maintained 2 to 8 degrees temperature. Even when we are manufacturing, storing,
100
and the product when we are
60
distributing, all
Why?
the things will be taken care of the things. Here I want to tell you one more thing to all of you. We are manufacturing one emoxy potassium flavonate, one injection. This we are supplying to exports like Malaysia and all. So when we are putting this product, manufacturing this product, we take care during our manufacturing, and when they transferring this product to this our India to Malaysia, when they the traveling, the containers will be there, no? The product storage containers, all the things also will be uh, controlled by this temperature and all. So the temperature data logger will be there in the containers. We will be monitor that one. So how our product has been controlled during end of the product, when it is reached, all the things will be taken care. So this is one thing we have so this is one thing I have done it. And the system must be placed for the recalling. Suppose when we are manufacturing of your product, uh, the recalling, if any batch, if any failure, and we have to recall the batch, and we should taken care of the product, what is the wrong with that, and replace. All the things will be monitored by all the manufacturers. And compliance about the marketed products must be examined. The causes of the quality must be investigated, and appropriate measures must be taken with respect to the defective products and to prevent recurrence. So here we have the practice of this if when the market complaints. So when if we got any NSQL, the product of the your product is some quality is some issues, or if the mislabeled, misbranded, all this type of the quality complaints will come from the all over India. We are getting a lot of complaints. So we will how we will handle it that first every batch will have the control samples. First we will be monitor the control samples. Then afterwards we'll test it, and we will also challenge it. This product is been our product is in all the as per the meeting the requirement of the specifications. So the how it is, because there is a chances of the missing substandard, or the replacing duplication. Lot of things will be happen in the market. So what we'll do here, will be every batch when we are manufacturing, we'll be keeping our control samples. So the control samples will be keeping the 3 years. After the expiry also will keep under 1 year. The total the product will be there for the 4 years with us. If any complaint comes, then we will be tested that product immediately. Then we will challenge that. See, the product is like this. So this is the way we will be controlling from the manufacturer. So this is all as per the current good manufacturing practice. So this is high level details. So this has to be monitored, and we will be this assessment will be carried out, the quality assessment. Then afterwards, here in industry, what will happen, the quality of the product will be trained the people, quality checkings, quality testings, quality monitoring, all the things will be controlled by our quality assurance department, and all the people will be trained. They will be trained in even they will be checking all the things, investigation and all the things. They will be appropriate measures will be taken respect to the any defect products. So all the things will be controlled by our quality assurance. This will be controlled as per the current good manufacturing practices. Why this CGMP compliance is very important? When your pharmaceutical company is in a CGMP compliant, you are assuring the end users that drugs manufactured in your facility regulated by the latest industrial standards. We are following or not. The first, most important one is the building and facility are very good condition, and the equipment is properly maintained and calibrated, and the process and procedures are reproduced and reliable. Employees are fully trained and qualified, and the product are safe and of high quality. These are all the things will be followed, the important of the compliance with the CGM. These CCMPs, when the facilities and the equipment, all the things I already discussed in detail, the compliance with the basic GMP regulations, all the things will be monitored day in, day out. Even in the pharmaceutical industries and all, they will see the facilities, housing your pharmaceutical company has been must be properly maintained or not. This will ensure that our conditions of the manufacturing safe and effective. How safe and effective? Suppose if you are giving one product to the Karnataka antibiotics and pharmaceutical industry, the company, how the consumer will see that our product how safe. So they will be having the good opinion that if I'm giving this product to this company, it will be very good product. I will get it. That way we will be having the facilities. We maintain that. So that is why we are maintaining the facilities and our equipments. So how to remain the CGMP, this compliance, to meet the CGMP compliance and regulatory requirement to ensure that all data should have the necessary controls. Without any control, you can't manufacture anything. Regularly review of the records for compliance, accuracy, and completeness, and ensure the data is secure throughout its history. So we should maintain the data of the product full. After this expiry also, the product will keep 2 years, then afterwards will be discarded. That way we'll maintain. So the CGMP says this enforcement. Each of the inspectors carry out the routine GMP inspections to ensure that drug products are produced safely and correctly. Additionally, many countries perform pre-approval inspections for GMP compliance prior to approval of the new drug for the marketing. So all this enforcement is very important for the current good manufacturing practices. I wanted to tell you the facts. Uh, the maintain regulatory standards. Facts about the current good manufacturing practice in CGM. The main regulatory standards enabling the pharmaceutical quality is the current practice. Regulations for the human pharmaceuticals. Recently, FDA announced that number of regulatory actions taken against drug manufacturers based on the lack of CGMP. This is important here. Lack of GMP. A lot of companies they are not monitoring the GMPs. They are only they seeing the business process and releasing the product, and it will affect to our human beings only. So to maintain all these things, the manufacturer based on the lack of the CGMP. This is a discussion, some facts, many helpful to the understanding how CGMP established the foundation for the drug product quality. So that's why we following the good manufacturing practice, current good manufacturing practices. Adherence to the CGMP regulations assures the identity, strength, quality, and purity of the drug products, requiring that manufacturers of medicines adequately control the manufacturing. Through the manufacturing operations only, we can able to control and CGMP regulations. If this is the main factor, the facts about the current good manufacturing practices, and this is the one of the main
Complete,
important
yeah.
is that how
Which
does
will inform questionnaires and
determine if
questions.
company is complying with the CGMP regulations.
Is there
So the CGMP regulations,
anybody
FDA
can
inspects the pharmaceutical manufacturing facilities worldwide, including facilities
helicopter
that
background?
manufacture active
Complete, yeah.
ingredients and the finished product. Inspection follows standards. Approach are conducted highly trained and FDA staffs. Without any trained people, it cannot be manufactured in that area. So we also in the manufacturing in the industry, we takes the experienced people, and the minimum people will be there, doctorates, all the experienced people are there, minimum 10 years 15 years experience guys will be put into the major manufacturing the activities and all. So it will train people. FDA will often use the reports, identify sites as an inspection and investigation is needed. If any queries comes and all, the FDA or CGMP or drugs control department will be inspect the manufacturing facilities, and they will identify what is the wrong with the product, how it has been manufactured, what are the compliances, all the things will be reviewed. So like that will be the regulations, the CGMP manufacturing practices will be doing that. The real facts about the current good manufacturing practices CGMP. CGMP requirement establish the flexible order to allow each manufacturer decide individually how to best implement the necessary controls. The scientifically sound design, the processing methods, all the things will be verified when the people of the when establish the company. So this has to be monitored that one. According to the C in CGMP stands for current requiring companies to use technologies and systems that are up to date. This has to be up to date. Then only the things will go right direction. Comply with the regulations, systems, and equipment that may have been top of the line to prevent contamination, mix-ups, errors. All the things has to be taken into the current good manufacturing practices. It is an important note that GMP regulations drugs contain minimum requirements. Many pharmaceuticals they are following the risk management approaches that exceed the minimum standards. All if you not follow this CGMP, all this is the we have to face it the issues. So coming to this, why CGMP is so important? So I have talked about more than 45 minutes about. So why this is CGMP so important into the pharmaceutical industry? A consumer usually cannot detect the through the product, the smell, touch, or sight. So that's why the drug product is a safe or if it will work. While CGMP requires testing, testing alone is not adequate to ensure the quality. In most instances, testing is done on a small sample of a batch. For example, drug manufacturer may test 100 tablets from a batch, but that contains 2 million tablets. So that's why the 2 million tablets should have the same efficacy of the product. No? It should not have any different. So that's why, so that most of the batches can be used for the patients rather than destroyed by testing. Therefore, it is important that drugs are manufactured under conditions and the practices required by the CGMP regulations to assure that quality is built into the design and manufacturing process in every step. So we are taking care when we are manufacturing the product, each and every step has the product. So this is very, that's why the product is, the quality will be maintained. So that's why this is the CGMP is very, very important. How does the FDA determine if company complying with the CGMP regulations? FDA inspect the pharmaceutical manufacturing facility worldwide, including the facility that manufacture active ingredients and the finished product. Inspections follow standard approach and the conducted by highly trained FDA staff. So FDA will use the reports to identify sites for which an inspection or investigation. Most of the companies we are following the inspected form to be fully compliant with the CGMP regulations. So now in the pharmaceutical industry main, so how it helps with our electronic quality management system help with the GMP compliance and all. Now we have come to the equipment. Equipment before equipment, I will tell you that quality management system. Uh, the identify and resolve the problems, avoid accidents by the investigating data for trends. Periodic internal audits will be carrying out in our manufacturing areas. We maintain periodically in, audits and corrective actions. Whatever that quality systems, if not executed, we corrective actions will be taken, address the root causes of the problems and prevent them for the you should not repeat such type of quality issues and preventive actions and will you help plan train for the any future problems. The preventive actions if we are taking will not have any repeat in the future problems. So this is very important in the quality management system. This is what I want to tell you that. And in the manufacturing area, the equipments, each and every piece of the equipment must be appropriate design and size of the facility use, cleaning and maintenance. This is very, very important in the pharmaceutical industry because we are manufacturing the life-saving drugs of the products for the human being, even for the veterinary, human, animals, everything. So we should be taken care for the when we are the equipment and the equipment surface and the parts must be interact with the process product so not affect the purity strength or quality when our main important the drug will be interacting with the equipment no? So we should be taking care of the surface of the equipment. Standard operating procedure must be written. The every equipment will be there the SOPs how to handle the equipment and all. The employee who is working on that equipment, you should know that how to operate the equipment and what is the procedure standard operating as per the standard operating procedure they should operate the equipment. So we provide even the local language as well as the English will be there standard operating even for the auditors, external auditors, international auditors. When they comes they will see that our first the SOPs only they will review the SOP how they are maintaining the SOPs into the or in the organizations in the companies. So they will do the proper usage maintenance and cleaning of the equipment how they are doing and all it will be go in detail. So suppose the filters used in the manufacturing area in the injectable products must not be released fibers into the such product. That also I told you in the initially we are maintaining the different sizes of the microns of the filters into the enter into the air into the manufacturing area like 20 micron 15 micron 10 the air will be particles will be passing through the different size microns and then it will be reduced and the pure will go into the manufacturing area like that we will be doing that. So equipment should be installed such a way minimize the any risk, error or contamination. Equipment should be kept in a stored and clean condition and be checked for cleanliness. And here, what we'll do here, every week we'll be doing the preventive maintenance of the equipment. So we'll be taking care of the defect. If any defect of the we will come to know that end of the week, one day we'll be taking the preventive maintenance. If any the mission parts has to be changed or any defect of the equipment, all the things will be done in the through the this preventive maintenance job. So to remove any the from production quality, the control areas labeled, all this the defects, all the things will be done in the during the preventive maintenance. And equipments used for the weighing, measuring, testing, and recording should be subject to regular record checks, accuracy, and working order. So when that mission we have taken up that one, we immediately what we'll do here, the weighing mission calibration, validation, all that will be monitored through the equipment. Then only will get test taken for the actual manufacturing for the product. So that way we'll be monitoring the equipment. Fixed pipe works. Some of the things, no, we cannot remove such type of pipes and all, no. So we'll be seeing the direction flows to the in the area, in the working area. Flow of the diagrams will be provided into the near to the machineries. Washing and cleaning equipment should be chosen and used in order to be sources of contamination. Here, in the liquid injectables areas and all, no, the main important each and every batch when we are measuring the pressure vessels, the actual drug will be stored in the containers. The containers will be it should be thoroughly cleaned and with steaming all the things will be taken during our washing of the vessels and all. So what we'll do, suppose you want to use one product today, tomorrow you wanted to use for another product, what we'll do here, the washing and cleaning, it should be cleaned with the specified the detergent solutions and all. Then afterwards they will be sterilized. Then afterwards will be taken to the traces of the samples. Then we'll be testing it to the quality control. If any traces are there, then will be once again will be taken for the re-sterilization and all. Then afterwards cleaning. Then once again will take up for the final product storing of the bulk manufactured solution will keep into the vessel. This is where we will do the washing, cleaning. Like this, all the areas wherever that in the injectables area, dry powder parentals, liquid parentals, even the tablets and capsules area, all these FBD bowels, all the coating solution containers, all like vessels and all cleaned has to be taken care. This is the procedure we follow into the industry. So we will be doing like this washing and cleaning of the equipments or vessels, all the things. As the majority of the bulk chemicals are synthesized in China and India, important to confirm their identity, purity with USP. This is also one of the important. We will follow the US IP, BP, US, all the things will be following as the prioritize the finished products. And production and process controls, written procedures, SOPs, SMPs, and are required to ensure the drug products have to be correct, identify strength, quality, and purity. This is very, very important. All the things will be mentioned in the procedures. In-process samples. When we are manufacturing the product, we have the in-process samples taken from the production batches periodically for product control. The in-process samples will be collected from the different stages of the batch manufacturing, and they will be tested by in our quality control department, and they will give the report. Based on that, they will be taken as the final product for the manufacturing. So in process, how we will control these general types? When we have performed the production personnel at the time of operation, the machinery is producing output within the established control limits like tablet size, hardness, and weight. All the things will be taken care of. So this has to be in process controls every half an hour. When the batch manufacturing, every half an hour or 1 hour, like that will be tested by our quality assurance, as well as the who is working into the employee there in the manufacturing pharmacist will be taken care of all these tablets, in process checks. So those perform the quality control laboratories and personnel ensure compliance with all product specifications and dissolution, like this in tablet area. Suppose if you're going for the injectable in a dry powder, for instance, weight of the powder. So if the capsules, weight of the capsule, all the like this will be tested in the during your in-process controls. Batch to batch, if any consistent. So after completion of the your process and all, the packaging final, when we are packing into your product to the final product, written procedures are required there also. Identification, storage, handling, sampling, and testing of a drug product, insurance, labeling, and packing. This is very, very important. When we are taking to the product into the labeling and packing, so the batch coding in the label as per the batch number, manufacturing date, when you are done, manufacturing date, expiry date, and what is the price of the product. All the things will be there in the days in the label. So we have to ensure that we should have the procedures. Without the procedure, it cannot be the packed whichever way. So everywhere the procedures will be defined. So like that, we'll do the labeling of the product. Each of the variation, the drug product, strength, dosage, form, quantity, have the content must be stored separately with the suitable identification. Nowadays, most of the products are the temperature sensitive products and all. Normally, we should keep below 20 degrees C. Some of the products 2 to 8 degrees C, below 15. Like that, we are keeping the variation of products. So in the manufacturing area, manufacturing also in the pharmaceutical industry nowadays, they have the storage in separate areas, the product wise. So now epoxy potassium carbonate normally will maintain below 15 to 20 degrees. Like that, they are be maintaining after your batch processing also. When we are carrying the product to outside also, the containers also will have the air conditioning systems. Like that, we are controlling. Outdated labels and other packaging material must be destroyed. This is there is a chances of the cross this mix-ups. So if you are keeping the labels, old labels and with the new labels and all the things, no, there is a small variation in the label as per the schedule. This product is like this one indication, but the old label will not have any other document data. So like that, there is a chance. So that's why when we are keeping all the packaging material, should keep properly and segregation. We should have the rack systems and all. We provide that in industry. The product wise will keep in the locking systems and all. Each product, the person nobody can access to that one. So the one product to product it will be taken for that. So that way we will be doing. The each label must contain expiry dating and the production batch or lot number of facility production identification. Special packaging requirements may apply in certain instances, as with the tamper evident packaging over the counter OTC. So this way we will be coming to this holding and distribution of the products. Written procedures must be established and followed for the holding and distribution of the product. Finished product pharmaceutical must be quarantined in storage until reached by the quality control. So the product without any inspection, any testing of the product cannot be released because it will be controlled the finished product in the finished goods area. After testing, quality control and all, then we will go for the releasing of the product. Product must be stored in the shipped under conditions do not affect the product quality. So such a way we should keep because we have the material storaging also separate area. The oldest approved stocks also distributed finally. So this is way we are doing the holding and the distribution. So distribution of the control systems must allow the distribution point of each lot of drug product and that product to be readily determined the facility is a recall if necessary. So if any product, if any issues are there, quality issues and all, we should be recall of the product. So if you may get doubt also, if you are sending outside the country the product, how will be recalled? So it will be with the product will be it will be under hold conditions. So it cannot be taken. Where within the India means will be recall the product. So that way we're doing. CGMP for the finished product pharmaceuticals, current good manufacturing. Common terms used the regulations are defined. Active pharma ingredients. Component have pharmacological activity in diagnosis, cure, mitigation, treatment, and prevention of disease. So the bags will be like that. Any quantity of drug uniformly specified quality produced according to single manufacturing are ordered during the same cycle of the manufacturing. We should go for the same cycle. This way we will be doing certification and compliance. All the things will be regulations and all will practices. The components and drug product, drug releasing the finished product and inactive ingredients and lot batch wise, all the things will be monitored as per the current regular manufacturing, good manufacturing practices. Master record, the records on the containing the formulations, specifications, manufacturing procedures, quality assurance, requirements, and labeling finished product. All the things will be there in the master record. And the quality assurance, what all evidences the assurance department will be taken up the evidences the needed that activities relating to quality are being performed adequately. So they will be monitoring all the things during the manufacturing of the product. And the quality control, they will be testing in the process through the whole industry measures the actual quality performance, compares it with the standards. Quality control uh, element designed the firm the responsible for the work related to quality control they will be taken care. And the quarantine when the product is been set aside for the holding or incoming components prior to acceptance level testing and the qualification for use, so they will be quarantined. So this way we'll be monitoring all these things. And the validation, this is a big subject. And validation, strengthening of the document evidence, that system, equipment validations, the process validations, the software validations, all the things will be done by our current in the industries as per the current good manufacturing practices. So this is the one process validations, any the document evidence that process what would be purpose to be done. Now all these validations protocols will be maintained as per the we have the master plan of the validation. Accordingly, we will do the validation activities. Before that, organization personnel, and this is already I told you. Suppose the person accept the deals with the responsibility of the quality control unit, employees and consultants. The regulations require that quality control unit have responsibility for all functions may affect the quality. This is very very important. We follow the systems accordingly. We will do it accepting and rejecting the product components product. And this is the way we have the specifications, packaging and labeling. This is one thing. And all personnel engaged in the manufacture, processing, packaging, holding drug product, including those who supervise the level, they have to maintain this one. This way we will do it. Then coming to this, adequate laboratory facilities shall provided, written procedures followed, and all records maintained, appropriate programs and training. This is one of the important in industry, that is the lacuna presently in the pharmaceutical industry. The training awareness program assessment, competency assessment has to be done for the overall entry with the newcomers and all. This has to be done. So the final, I wanted to tell you the final thoughts of this. Uh, the main purpose of this CGMP is to ensure that manufacturers, business organizations, and packagers of the pharmaceutical products, medical devices, and certain foods must proactively guarantee that their products are effective, safe, and pure. By being in a CGMP compliant, you have a facility that are good conditions and equipment that is carefully maintained and calibrated, fully trained and qualified staff, procedures and protocols that are reproducible and reliable, and products are high quality and safe and efficacious. So this is what I wanted to convince you this. If you are following the CGMPs, and you will get high efficacy of the good quality of the product to the human beings. So I request all of you to follow this minimum good manufacturing practices. We have to follow this in the pharmaceutical industry. We have to do it. So this is what I wanted to convey to you all. Anybody have any questions on this? I'm waiting for that. So are
Thank you,
you on the
sir.
line?
Any questions? Any questions from the participants, audience? Sir, one question.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, this is Dr. Dhanalakshmi from GRT Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research. Whether CGMP permit the correction action of the manufactured formulation, sir?
Yes. Yeah, we are following as per the CGMP guidelines, as per
Okay.
the Schedule M, as well as the CGMP guidelines.
Okay, sir. What are the
Yeah.
golden rules for CGMP? Any tagging rules will be there, sir?
Normally, we have the golden rules is there, CGMP. The main important, the highlight is that it should be the main facility. How facility you are perfect in the your processings. That is the one thing I will tell you that. One minute, I'll come. This is the main, there is a 10 main golden rules was there. Get the facility design right from the start and validate your processes. Number three, write good procedures and follow them. That is the SOPs. And the golden rule is four is identify who does what. Golden rule number five, keep good records and train and develop staff, practice good hygiene and maintain facilities and equipment, and build quality into the whole product life cycle, and perform regular audits. This is the golden rules pharmacists. So I wanted to convince you, all of you, make it your practices in a good manufacturing practices in future also when you are entering to the industries. Okay, anything?
Okay, sir. I think there are no more questions. Now I request Dr. Dhanlakshmi
Yeah.
ma'am to give vote of thanks.
Good
And
afternoon.
before that, I want to convey one thing. I am going to send the
Yeah, tell
feedback
me.
link to
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the registered participants are
Okay,
going to receive the feedback link by afternoon. You have to fill the feedback
okay.
link to get your certificate generated. Thank you so much. Now I request
Thank
Dr.
you, thank you.
Dhanlakshmi ma'am to give the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of
Good
GRT
afternoon.
Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, I take this great opportunity to propose vote of thanks to all who have involved and helped to making this webinar as a resounding success. At this outside, I would like to thank our chief guest and resource person, Mr. K. Durga Prasad, Deputy General Manager at Karnataka Antibiotics and Pharmaceutical Limited, Bangalore. We are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. Thanks a lot, son, for your precious times you are
Thank,
spending your valuable time with us. I would like to thank our
thank you.
principal, Dr. K. Meenakshi Sundaram sir, for his presence in this webinar.
Yeah.
A special thanks to the organizing committee, Badru sir, and other faculty members who have made this webinar in a great success. A special thanks to all the technical persons who are involved in for the successful completion of webinar. A special thanks to the active participants. With these warm words and message, we move to the end of today's webinar. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir,
Okay,
I
sir.
will
Thank
talk
you.
to you
Bye.
over phone, sir. I
Okay,
need
okay.
your help. I will talk to you over phone.
Sure, sure, sure.
Thank you, sir.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Masood. Thank you.
Thank you.
I need to stop this too.